Hello everyone, it is Liam, the Deaf Doom Metalhead, and today is all black metal. And yeah, I love black metal, and a lot of it at the moment is just really sinking in. Obviously I'm still the purveyor of doom and death and justice and all that kind of crap, but black metal has just been a genre I really enjoyed discovering in the last year or so, and I keep saying it on videos because I don't show it enough, but it is something I've been buying now as the norm, and I know a lot more about the genre and the bands and the labels that put it out than I ever did before, and I fucking love it. So this collection update is essentially that, just spat everywhere. Lovely. Right, first band is a Yorkshire band. One-man project, as most black metal projects are for some reason. This was formed in 2013 by a chap called Joe Hawker. This is two albums I'm going to show you of his. First one was a debut from 2015. The band is Ethereal Shroud, and this album is called They Became the Falling Ash, put out through Northern Silence Productions. This is a 3-track album, and the band, I would say Joe's style to black metal, is not your blasty Norwegian thing or anything like that, melodic or atmospheric. This is, well, it's atmospheric. This is more of a funeral doom approach to black metal, and I absolutely love it, and it's the kind of reason I got into this band in the first place. So this album, I believe, has been remastered for this version of the CD I have. It's very deep, so if you're into your funeral doom, you'd understand that the songs build and create this atmosphere, and it kind of slowly takes you on a journey, but in the style of black metal. So it's not blasty in your face, all that kind of thing. This is more, takes a step back and uses the style of black metal, but in a more of a funeral doom approach. And I really enjoyed it, but the reason I picked this up was not because of this album, it's because of this one. This is the 2021 album, Transilvania, again put through Northern Silence Productions. I can't pronounce albums, and I'm fairly sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. This is a 3-track album, but I think there's a bonus track called Lanterns, which I believe is just a bonus track, so we won't count it. And if I had this in 2021, this would have been in my top 5. This is a 10 out of 10 album for me. It's flawless. Reason being, I'm a big Mournful Congregation fan, and obviously My Dying Bride, all that kind of thing, and the way they create atmosphere. And what Joe's done on this album compared to the first one, this one has gone like full throttle on the atmosphere and the melodies. And it is a funeral doom album, but in a black metal style. It's got female vocals on there as well with a harsh black metal, but it's toned down. It's not in your face. It's kind of, it blends with the music. Lush. It's just lush, and it's amazing. It takes you on such a great journey. And if you're into slow, heavy music, but you're a bit on the fence with your black metal, this is a gateway album, especially with this style. Think Mournful Congregation and black metal. That's essentially what Ethereal Shroud is to me. I mean, it's a long album, you can't always get through it sometimes when you listen to it, but when you do, it's well worth it. I mean, I have a busy life here at home with kids running around, all that kind of thing, so it's really hard to, especially during the day, to listen to these kind of albums. This time of day I'm alright, they're all asleep, and it's, you know, it's fine. So if you have the privacy, you know, you'll be richly rewarded, especially with headphones. You can really soak this album up. So go give this a go. I'll leave links below, but this especially, this is actually being pressed to vinyl as well. And I'll be very tempted to pick up a copy of that, because this is fucking amazing. So go check out some Ethereal Shroud. Brilliant project. Now, next one is a 2022 release. This is a brand new debut EP from a band that formed in 2018 in Finland. They're a 3-piece, and that is Moonlight Sorcery, with Piercing Through the Forest Eternity through avant-garde music. And this was hyped up so much I had to pick it up. So this was a blind buy for me, purely based on that cover and the amount of rave reviews I've seen on like Instagram and stuff like that about it. Now this is a 5-track EP, yeah, and is amazing. So it's like heavy dissection kind of worship, but more emphasis on the shreddy guitars. I mean, the guitars drive this album, or this EP should I say, drives it. So this band rely heavily on big riffs, memorable riffs, and I love that because I'm a big riff guy myself. And then they incorporate these ridiculously cool, infectious, like shreddy, like solos, like almost like a fresh approach to it. Fresh approach to it, but it still has that icy feel that fits the album artwork and the finish. So it has that finished style as well, and that sound. But it is just brilliant, and I've seen a few people mention Stormkeeper as a comparison, but obviously Stormkeeper is also like a dissection-esque worship as well. So I would say these guys lean to more that 90s Swedish style a little bit, but I love it. I mean, I am absolutely floored by it. I mean, I've spun this a dozen times, and I've only had it 4 days, maybe, yeah, and it's just incredible. Absolutely love it. Such an easy listen as well. It's just one I can put in rotation, and I love it. Really, really good. I'm really looking forward to their full length, because that will probably be one of those albums that is impossible to buy and ends up on Discogs for a small fortune. So yeah, go check out some Moonlight Sorcery. Fucking fantastic EP. Right, moving back to the UK. This is a Liverpool band that formed in 2009 as a one-man project, and then became a full band in 2011, and this is their second full length that came out in 2021. And I'm probably going to butcher the band name, but I'm going to call them Ninkharsag, which is dead wrong, because it doesn't sound cool at all when I say it. And this is the album The Dread March of Solemn Gods, put out through Vendetta Records, like I said, last year. Now this is dissection worship, but who cares? I mean, there's a bazillion bands that do bolt thrower worship, there's a bazillion bands that do death worship, you know. It's just one of those things, and people just kind of have to accept you're always going to be inspired by other bands. I'm guilty of it with like My Dying Bride and that kind of thing with my music. And yeah, these guys, I mean, even the cover kind of reminded me of the debut Dissection album. But this is an amazing band. I mean, music, everything about it is spot on. I mean, for a UK band as well to be this good is incredible. It's not raw, it's not lo-fi, none of that crap. This is proper high-end black metal, big ass production, amazing riffs, melodies for days, guitar playing is phenomenal. You know, I bet you guys are a hoot live as well. It's just intense and a really, really good listen. I've got a long sleeve of that artwork as well. It's incredible. Really, really cool band. And yeah, I can't fault this at all. This is again probably a 10 out of 10 album for me. It is very, very good. I've never got bored of it. I've had it for a good few months now, and it's just full of absolute classic tracks. I mean, all of them I enjoy. There's not one on there I could say is rubbish. It's even got those kind of little classical guitar moments in this album as well. It's just fantastic. So if you've never checked these guys out, I'll leave a link below. But if you're a Dissection fan, you already like the album without even hearing it. So yeah. Right, some cassettes. This is an Austrian band, formed in 2014. Will not sneeze. My hay fever stopped today. I've been good. So this is the second full length from 2021 for this Austrian band. The band is called Transylvania, and this is Of Sleep and Death, put out through Invictus Productions, which is, I believe, an Irish label. Let's see if you can get the artwork on there. Now, I wanted this for a while on vinyl, and I scoured it for a little while, but then I found on eBay the tape for about £5, and I couldn't resist. You know, it deserves to be purchased on vinyl just for the artwork, because I love medieval artwork. But this is kind of more of a thrashy, blasty black metal, you know, proper intense, but also very, very memorable riffs and very, very hooky. Tape looks like that, and I'll take out the J card so you can appreciate the effort that's gone involved with it, because it's a cool looking J card. So you've got the insides there with more artwork for each track, and this makes me want to buy it on vinyl and more and more and more, because I look at this and it reminds me again, why did I, you know, not pick it up. Picture of the band looking all morbid there, coming out of a lake. But yeah, these guys are wicked. Very, very catchy, very riffy, very thrashy. You know, it's intense. Doesn't let up at all, really. It's, you know, it's not one of those ones where they have a slow moment. I don't recall there being one. Just fast, catchy, hooky black metal, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Well worth your time. So Transylvania, go and give that a go. Next, we got some Welsh black metal. This is a two-piece, I believe. One member is based in Poland, and the other based in Wales. This is a debut for 2022, and again, this is a 10 out of 10 album for me. I've listened to this a lot, and this will probably feature again high on my end of year list. Black metal is just absolutely slaying it at the moment, but I can't pronounce the band name, so I will slap it down there at the bottom of the video. But this is called The Forest Howls at Dusk. Now, I know the chap behind this, so I won't reveal his Batman identity, but he's a very talented guy, and he's always busy. Amazing dude. But this surprised the fuck out of me. I was not expecting this. Put out through Cavernous Records in the UK, massively cool label. And I think Repose Records did the cassette version of this as well, which is another UK label. Inside looks like that. Now this is that more Welsh sounding black metal where it's all about the outdoors and the kind of themes that you get from that, and it captures that. If you go for a walk in the woods, you've got that kind of vibe. You got 6 tracks on there, yeah, and it's just great. But it's different though. So it's blasty, it's intense, but it has a folky feel to it, and I think that's because the female vocals, the flute noises put into it as well. It gives it a different scope, and it's just fantastic. I forget the name of the lady. I think it's Agatha, I think her name is, but she does flutes, some drums, vocals, you know, all sorts of cool stuff, and it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, it's just the way the melodies with the flute especially, it kind of gives it a whole different vibe and reminded me a lot of Imperium, and I really like that band, and it had that vibe to it and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it's another album I've been spinning quite a lot. I've been putting this on a lot, and you know, cover did nothing for me. I had no idea what the cover's about. It's just another dude wearing a shroud looking really mist and horrible, but you probably think they're probably some walkers are probably going past there going, what the fuck's he doing? You know, I love all that about black metal. It looks all mysterious, but the background of the photo shoot's probably hilarious. But yeah, fucking awesome album. So if you haven't checked it out, again, can't recommend that enough. Especially if you're into like your Imperiums, your folky kind of stuff. That really sits well. Now, another cassette. This is a split that came out last year. Put out through Blackwood Productions. It's my first Blackwood Productions release. That's a UK label. And I couldn't resist this. Based off one track. And then I listened to the rest and it was fantastic. Now this is a split between Dusk, Lurker, and I'm going to try and pronounce it, Archeirophant. So they're both London-based black metal bands. And you get 2 tracks each side of this cassette from each band. Dusk Lurker is a 2-piece, and they are very much your mayhem-esque, blasty, in-your-face black metal. It's raw, it's nasty, it's raspy. But again, great riffs, guitar tone. I really like the guitar tone on their songs. It sat well with me, and the production was really nice and crisp, but it had that bite to it, and the trebly guitars really sounded really nasty and horrible, and it worked really well with the music. The drums sounded fantastic, bass was really nice and buzzy. Yeah, really happy with that. And then the second band, Archeirophant, was formed in 2020 by a chap called Lewis Borthwick, but it's now a 4-piece for this split, so a full band now. And they are more on the doomier side of black metal, very much like Ethereal Shroud, borrow from the more miserable, horrible sounding black metal. It's still raw, it's got that trebly noise, the raspy vocals, but they take it down a pace. And the track that made me buy the split is I Do Wander, was basically a funeral doom song. It's very slow, very miserable, very empty, and yeah, the melodies on it, I kept humming it in my head. And in the end I just bought it because I thought, yeah, fuck it, it's fantastic. Really surprised me how good that was, because I'd never even heard of either of these bands before. And that's the beauty of this whole genre of music for me at the moment. I'm discovering so much new music because I have no idea anything about it. So, you know, the more I take in, the more I enjoy it. And those 2 bands are now on my radar, purely off this split. Really fucking good, so go check it out. I'll obviously leave a link below. But yeah, really good tape, really like that. Now, this next band is also a London-based band, but I knew about this from my friend Kenny, who is like my go-to black metal guy. But I've started to overtake him with the newer stuff. He's proper, like, he's been around since the 90s listening to it, so he knows his stuff. And I remember me showing this album cover, because he used to rip the piss out of black metal album covers, saying how stupid they were years ago, and he'd say, check this one out, because it kind of goes against the whole blueprint of what a black metal album cover should be, and that is Sacred Sun. Now you look at that and you think that ain't a black metal album cover, it's just a dude on his holiday looking well happy with himself, and that is it. I mean, but this music is not that at all. It is the most misleading album cover on the planet, and I fucking love it. Now when I saw this ages ago I thought it was hilarious, and I forgot all about it. Then a couple of, well, this year actually, someone on Instagram I speak to regularly, I think his name's Alad, put it on his Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, brilliant. And these were going for a £5 on the band's Bandcamp, so I lapped up two of their releases that I could get my hands on. He has put a new album out this year that I need to get hold of, but you'll have to make do with these EPs for now. So this is a 4-track EP of raw, horrible, nasty black metal. It's in your face, it's heavy, blasty. It's got nothing like that album cover, but it's fantastic. The only thing is in a little cardboard sleeve. My OCD really struggles with these because I like to have the jewel cases, everything organised. So, but yeah, this is fun. It's really good. And then the next one is even better. No, probably not better cover-wise. I mean, to me, this reminds me of when you watch here in the UK Antiques Roadshow, and you go in there with your family vase. Dude sits you down and goes, "Nah, mate, it's worth nothing." That invicts that kind of emotion of how horrible you feel, and that, again, the music fits it. You know, Antiques Roadshow guy telling you it's not worth anything. That's what that cover is. But again, this is also a 4-track. Oh no, is it 6, 7 tracks? I might have read it wrong. Yeah, so it's 4 tracks on this one, 7 tracks on this one. This is slightly different. This has got more soundscapey kind of stuff in it. It's a bit more drawn out. It's intense, it's heavy, but it's not as intense as that one. This one takes a step back and kind of expands on his sound a bit more, and I'm really gutted I couldn't get the 3rd EP because I think it's sold out now. But again, these are both hilarious, and I believe on the new album cover he's gone for they're a full band now, so it's not a one-man project anymore. It's formed by a guy called Dane Cross, and they've been a 4-piece since 2019, but they were a solo act. I think that's the full band on this one, solo project on this one. But what was I saying? Yeah, the new album cover is the band have got like a proper black metal looking cover with like a painting, but he is in there. If you look carefully, you will see that face. But yeah, Sacred Sun, really good music, and you can get these cheap on Bandcamp, so I'll leave a link below. But just great. I really enjoyed that. The cover alone made up for it. And lastly, for this bizarre collection update, is a band that formed in '91, and majority of the old schoolers will know what this is, but I blindly bought this based off the band name that I've only ever heard of as a name, and the album cover. And that is the 2nd full length from Absu. This is called The Son of Tiravath, put out through Osmos Productions in '95. Band formed in '91. I don't believe they have the name Absu anymore. Someone was trying to explain it to me the other day. What's it called? Proscriptor McGovern is the guy who kind of formed the band with other members and made his own version of it, all that kind of bollocks. But I picked this up purely off the album cover, and I don't know if my lighting will get it. But the problem I had with this is the shoulder blade here, there's a big spike, and his helmet has big spikes like the horns coming out here. I don't know if you can see it, it's too dark. But he can't turn his head, so that's the only criticism of the artwork. But the artwork is what I bought it. I found it on eBay for cheap. I thought, oh, I've seen that and I've heard of Absu, I'll go check it out. And this is really good. Really, really good. I've actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to. Production's a bit low, but that's because it was made in the 90s. American black metal band. And this is more of a thrashy black metal. And there's like high-pitched vocals in there. There's gurgling kind of black metal kind of style, and he goes full King Diamond-esque in some parts, and yeah, it's just good, solid fun, and I was really impressed. So I'm going to pick up some more Absu, or try to, because I know they've been reissued a ton, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Absu, obviously I'll leave a link below and you can check it out for yourself, but I imagine most people that know their black metal will already know this band and say, yep, fantastic album, and I agree with them. So yeah, that is my black metal collection update. Like I said, I could have shown you some more of the old school, well-known bands, but you know, hopefully some of these you've never checked out before, and I'll leave links below, and you can go discover them for yourself and enjoy them. If you like the video, obviously please like it, spat again, because it helps me out. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and checking out content here, and here, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers!